a sacred table. Girls, come help me set the Kwanzaa table. Summer's out, she's sick. Okay, Arizona, so first we put out the African cloth. Wait, Habari Gani? No, you say Umoja. Habari Gani? Let's put this one down first.
Umoja means unity.
You and me living together in one big family. Unity. Yeah, so today, the first day of Kwanzaa is Umoja, which means
Unity.
yes, and we're going to show unity by doing this table together. And everyone getting down here.
Unity.
Okay, so we have the Kwanzaa cloth. This is our African cloth of our ancestors. And we have the, what is this called?
The thingy.
Candle holder. No. Excuse me. Yes, it's a candle holder, but this is a
For the Ugani. No.
Oh no.
Hey, I was sitting in
Okay.
because I don't like standing up, Kylie. That's
You
why.
guys should give the chair to the sick one here.
So we need a cup. Someone bring us the unity cup
I'll bring
that we
it.
will use.
So you mean the middle?
The black goes in the middle. And where do the reds and the things go?
The red one outside.
Okay. So Arizona, put all the green three right over here. Natalia, you put the red over on the other spot.
Yeah, professional. I'm the professional girl. Yeah, the professional. I'll help you. Be professional. We can do that later. Doesn't matter. Okay.
So we need the fruit too. No, wait. For our purposes, the left for us will be this way. Okay. Each child needs to get a piece of fruit to represent them for the table. Get a piece of fruit and go. I'm gonna get that piece of fruit. You got yours too.
I got an apple. I got an apple. Wait, can I eat it?
You're not supposed to eat it, Kylie.
This is the wine that we can use, but it hasn't been opened. So. Wait, can the kids drink the wine too? Little wine's alright.
Kylie, this is not snack time.
Vegetables too, please. Some carrots.
They're just
and a
finding
bowl.
reasons to get snacks right now, Lena.
You guys, come on. No, not salad. These are those cards. These are two of them. We should sell them Sunday. We don't have the 2 ears of corn. We need to go get that tomorrow. They represent the children and the family.
So what do we do with the food after Kwanzaa?
Nothing. Eat it there. Let's just put the fruit on the table to represent for now. I'll go get this later because we don't have everything. Put this away. Yeah, put the fruit in the basket, please, and some vegetables. I asked you guys to bring fruit and vegetables.
I brought carrots over here. I don't know where they went. I have no idea. How about green onions?
All you guys do is go and start eating.
What happened to the apple that I just put down? Oh, you got it. Okay.
Wait, can I put some green onions?
Why is there? No one should be chewing food.
I'm not. Angela has to sell the cheese.
Arizona, get that cheese out of here.
Put some carrots. How about green onions? No, not really.
They're just getting anything. They're just like, oh, snack time.
If you're sick, don't drink out of this. We're ready to start the celebrations.
I'm not sick. I got lighters. We already have one.
We don't have everything, but this is good.
Extra. No, Erzo! Don't drink out of that yet.
Okay, today we are going to start the celebration of the first day of Kwanzaa. So we have our candles here and we have our candle holder. What's the candle holder called? Kanara. And we have the 7 candles and those are called the Mushaba. Excuse me. Those are called the Mushuma Saba. Okay?
Masaba.
Right, and they represent the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And what are the 7 principles? Sorry to use this slide. And the 7 principles of Kwanzaa are called,
Moja.
yes, but they're called the Ngoza Saba.
Ngoza Saba.
Yes, and today, Habari Gani?
Habari gani?
Habari Gani?
Emoja.
Umoja. So what does Habari Gani mean?
Update.
Hello.
Every year we do this, every year we forget. It means, what's the news? What's up? And you tell me, Umoja, because today's Umoja. I say, hey girl, what's the news? What's up for today?
What's trending?
Hello and welcome to another episode of your Human Service News and Information. I'm Hassan Rashid, and it's excellent being here with you, and it's such an awful great achievement to come into your lives like we do here daily at CCTV. Okay, and with that, I go on to welcome you to another episode once again of your Human Service News and Information with the International Universal Cordial of Peace. Peace be unto you. I also like to piggyback on that with Habari Gani. Okay, that's what's happening. And hello in Kwanzaa. You know, this is the month of Kwanzaa, and that's how they greet each other in Kwanzaa. During the month of Kwanzaa, they say Habari Gani. Okay, this is the first day of Kwanzaa, and we'll be getting into more about Kwanzaa later on into the broadcast. The whole story of Kwanzaa. We're going to try to share it with you briefly. But once again, peace be unto you and Habari Gani. I'm Hassan Rashid. And you know, I tried to find some information on local events that's transpiring throughout Eastern Massachusetts, New England, and Cambridge. And I wasn't able to find one event that was honoring Kwanzaa, but that doesn't mean that there isn't anything going on as far as that, the celebration of Kwanzaa, because I know there are a lot of people in Cambridge and Eastern Massachusetts that acknowledges or accept the Kwanzaa movement or whatever philosophy, or you can even call it a religion. Okay, but the Kwanzaa, even in Boston, I know there's plenty of Kwanzaa activity in Boston, but I wasn't able to find any dates or any contact information I can share with you so that you can participate in celebrating the month of Kwanzaa, which is the day after Christmas. Okay, the Christians celebrate Christmas, and it's several other holidays during this time, and I'd like to share with you later on in broadcast. Once again, I'm Hassan Rashid. Thank you for joining us, and it's good to have you with us again. And I think this is the last week in, this is the last full week in December. Next thing you know, it'll be New Year, brand new year. Okay, I like to, once again, before I go any further, I'd like to take time to send out my condolences and deepest sympathies to all the folks down in Indonesia, the South Pacific, that were recently affected by a tsunami. That's, I guess this tsunami was caused by a volcano eruption, and the impact on the earth was so strong that they affected the ocean. They created big waves on the ocean, and these waves landed in a certain part of Indonesia, and hundreds of people were dead. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in property was just lost and damaged. So I send out my condolences to all the folks down in Indonesia. Okay, and things will get better. Massachusetts human service workers are females, minorities, and poor. Once again, the study says that Massachusetts human service workers are females, minority, and poor. Okay, human service workers in Massachusetts are overwhelmingly female, minority, and poor, according to a report released Wednesday by the Providers Council, a trade association that represents the human service industry. The median wage for a worker in the human service field is $27,376 compared to $40,557 for all other Massachusetts industries. 1 in 8 human service workers earn below 150% of the federal poverty level, which is $31,170 for a family of 3. We got to do better if we're going to be able to fulfill the position, said Michael Weeks, President and CEO of the Providers Council. Many of our providers have vacancies because they aren't able to compete financially. And for the best and the brightest to fill these positions, the human service field is growing in Massachusetts as population ages. Today, human service workers fill about 180,000 jobs, around 5% of the state workforce. The staff inpatient and outpatient mental health and substance abuse facilities, child care centers, vocational rehabilitation centers, individuals and family services, and emergency food and housing services. The new report sheds light on who these workers are. According to the report, 80% of human service workers are women. That figure is higher in certain jobs. For example, 93% of child care workers are women. Human service workers are most likely to be Black and Latino than workers in other fields, with 12.3% of human service workforce identifying as Black and 13.5% as Latino, compared to 6.2% and 9% respectively among all Massachusetts workers. Nearly 19% of human service workers are foreign born. More than 7% of human service workers have disability, compared to 4.6% of workers overall. The report notes that low wages paid to human service workers, the median household income for a household with a human service worker is $83,000, while the median household income overall in Massachusetts is around $104,000. Despite having similar levels of educational attainment, human service workers are more likely to live below 150% of the poverty level, have lower median wages, and lower household incomes than workers in other industries, the report finds. The report states that particularly when students take on loans, entering the human service field may not be financially sustainable. Most human service organizations receive their money from taxpayers through contracts with state government. The Providers Council, which advocates for better pay and working conditions for human service workers, is likely to use the report to push to raise reimbursement rates for human service workers. The report was published in partnership with the UMass Donahue Institute and UMass Dartmouth. It was released at an event Wednesday that featured a panel discussion with the Donahue Institute researcher, Secretary of Labor and Workforce Development, Rosalind Acosta, State Senator Eric Lesser, the Democrat Longmeadow, and leader of the North Suffolk Mental Health Association and AIDS Project Worcester. Lesser said before the end that human service workers face an astronomical burden as the population ages, and their health need become more complex because the workforce has historically been female and people of color. That unfortunately often means their needs have not been given the attention they deserve, says Lassiter. Okay, Lassiter said government needs to pay more and professionalize the industry. He noted that retaining good workers who can care for patients at home results in fewer people entering the hospital and saves money in health care. Lassiter said he will work to pass a bill this season to create a student loan forgiveness program for human service workers. Okay, the National Organization for Human Services, it sends out a letter to their members. Okay, so I'm going to read this letter, share this letter with you that the National Organization for Human Service sent out to their members at the end of the year here. Okay, to the outstanding members of the National Organization of Human Services, I thank you for your engagement and commitment to being a part of the organization in 2018. Reflecting on this year, we have much to be proud of. Under the leadership of President Dr. Tommy Dice, a path was paved that allows the organization to groom and bloom in the upcoming year. The organization's work collectively with update management has begun to solidify a framework for effectiveness that will allow us to meet the needs of the organization and our membership better. That commitment to engage in human service community was demonstrated through our regions with activities that include 2 regional conferences, a news podcast, engagement opportunities for volunteers across the country. Our annual conference in Philadelphia was a tremendous success. Thank to everyone who attended, presented, or volunteered. This conference is proved to be a fantastic opportunity to connect, learn, and give back through our sponsor service project. So much to be proud of as we enter the new year. As 2019 approaches, there is a sense of excitement across all facets of organizations. The talented volunteers who make up the organization and occupy various roles and functions are the endless possibilities that are ahead of us. At the annual meeting of the Board of Directors, 3 main goals were laid out to guide our work in the new year. Number 1, create a vibrant membership and affiliate community. 3, define our professional identity as an organization. 3, develop an organization that is a leader in the field of human services. So that's just an example of a sample of a letter that the National Organization for Human Services sent out to its members, and I think this is the largest organization of human services membership affiliations in the United States. So we'll be hearing more about them come the new year. Okay, so the Arc of Massachusetts take part in 31 Nights of Lights. So they're invited to be sure to join the Arc of Massachusetts on December 29th in the center court of the Prudential Center, Boston at 4 p.m. for a fun and festive evening featuring music, poetry, and inspiring remarks from individuals with intellectual and development abilities. And they hope to see you all there, okay? So Pizza with a Purpose, support the Arc of Massachusetts on December 29th. On Saturday, December 29th, the California Pizza Kitchen located at the Prudential Center, Boston, will be hosting a fundraiser in honor of the Arc of Massachusetts. If you are able to make it to Peru at any time and on this date, present your service with this, denoting that you're eating on behalf of the Arc of Massachusetts. 20% of your check will be donated directly to our organization. Takeout and catering orders are eligible. So that's the big event, Saturday, December 29th, the Center Court of the Prudential Building, Boston at 4 p.m. That's the Arc of Massachusetts, and they do great work with individuals and intellectuals, with individuals with intellectual and development disabilities. Okay, so you join them at the Center Court, Prudential Center, Saturday, December 29th. Okay, this is a long item here, so we can just shorten it down to give you a brief outlook on what this is all about. Okay, a brief understanding of what this is all about. A foundation looks to human services organizations to boast social and economic mobility. The Kresge Foundation is looking for human service organizations, both nonprofit and public agencies, that promote social economic mobility to participate in the second year of its Next Generation Initiative. The foundation is looking for 10 organizations which could get up to $500,000 apiece in funding for the 2-year initiative. That's serious money. And another sign of intensifying work by grant makers on equity challenges. Gregory investment comes at a time when legacy foundations are finding new companies on the anti-poverty funding beat. Institutional stalwarts in this space like Kresge, Ann E. Kresge, Ford, and Kellogg are being joined by new players like Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, the Ballmer Group, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and Bloomberg's Philanthropies. Earlier this year, the Gates announced it would take on poverty at home in a much bigger way than it had before. Last month, the foundation teamed up with Bloomberg, Ballmer to use data to push for greater economic mobility in the cities. This year also, Ballmer opened an office in Detroit and has already made $60 million in grants to nonprofits in the city. So that's a foundation looks to human service organizations to boost social and economic mobility. Okay, moving right along here. Okay, state auditor calls for reimbursement of misused state funds in latest report. Okay, the Massachusetts State Auditor, Susan Bump, has a problem with the way the Commonwealth Operational Service Division has been managing their finances. The report is the second time Bump had looked into OCD. Okay, okay, that's the acronym for Operational Service Division. In 2012, Bump found that human service contractors billed the state for more than $87 million in unauthorized expenses. More than 4 years later, Bump revisited the state agency and found that the money was still being lost in a similar way. Bump told 22 News we want to make sure that state money is being used to directly benefit the clients of our state, whether they're elderly, or disabled, or their children, or they have mental health issues. We'll only pay for certain costs associated with their care. So that's okay. That's state auditor cost reimbursement misuse state funds. A lot of human service contractors are abusing that program. Okay. Okay. We're gonna just The RAP announces 2019 National Conference keynote speakers, presenters to speak in best practices, implementation strategies, recommendations on meeting state regulations. Okay, so the RAP 2019 conference features keynote presentations by Carl Fecker Terrell, board chair of the Human Service Research Institute in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and Michael C. Reynolds, director of individual advocacy and family support, UMKC, Institute for Human Development, Kansas City, Missouri. So this is okay. This is that's all we got here. Just a notice that this conference is going to be held. I think it's going to be held down in North Carolina. But as soon as at the turn of the year, so as soon as we get more information on that, we sure will share it with you. And a lot of people from Cambridge will be participating in that. And as soon as we get more information, we'll be able to share that with you. Okay. So the National Low Income Housing Coalition, now they want to send out this happy holiday greetings to you all from the National Low Income Housing Coalition. And they want to help us. They want you to help us. Help us, those most in need. Okay. The National Low Income Housing Coalition is dedicated to ending homelessness and housing poverty in America. National Low Income Housing Coalition coalition is viewed as a trusted voice for the poor among policymakers on both sides of the aisle. We have been called the conscience of the affordable housing community. Now more than ever, millions of extremely low-income households who lack affordable homes and hundreds of thousands who are homeless depend on the National Low Income Housing Coalition work and that of our members and partners to engage in strong and well-informed policy advocacy. This holiday season, help the National Low Income Housing Coalition speak up for those without access to safe, decent, and affordable housing. Okay, together we can ensure that those most in need have decent, affordable housing. We hope you will continue this holiday season. So you're invited to please visit their website. That's https://bit.ly/2IDO9XE to donate. So you're invited to donate to the National Low Income Housing Coalitions and in their efforts to help alleviate poverty, okay, housing poverty and homelessness. Okay, so once again, you can get in touch with them at National Low Income Housing Coalition.org or outreach at NLIHC.org if you're interested in donating to help the extremely low income households and the homeless. Okay, I got one more. Okay, we're gonna skip that, and we got about a few more minutes. So I'm just gonna run down some things about Kwanzaa. Okay, Kwanzaa. Okay, so that's what period of the year that we're in. We're in the Kwanzaa zone from the 26 7 days of Kwanzaa, and I'd like to just give you a brief rundown of what these 7 days of Kwanzaa are about before we leave the air this year. Okay, Umoja, that's the first day of Kwanzaa. That's what we're going through right now, phase of Kwanzaa, and this is Umoja. Okay, and Umoja in Swahili means unity, and Swahili is a combination of Arabic and other native African languages, Eastern African okay, dialogues. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. That's what the Umoja means. The national bell, okay, that's Umoja. That's the first day. That's what this celebration is all about. 7 candles. You know, in Cambridge, I just learned that the city council banned the use of candles in Cambridge. To light a candle, you have to go to the city hall and get permission. They made an ordinance against lighting candles in Cambridge. So I don't know what these Kwanzaa people doing today in Cambridge. Did they go to the city hall and get a permit to light candles, light their Umoja candles, and their menorah for Kwanzaa? I don't know. Maybe someone will fill me in on that one later on. Okay, so we're going to go to the second day of Kwanzaa. You light the candle again. The Kuji Chaga Li'a. Okay, and this means self-determination. Defend ourselves, names ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Okay? The third day of Kwanzaa, Ujaima, collective work and responsibility. Okay, Ujaima is the fourth day, Ujaima, cooperative economics, okay, and okay, this day 5, Naya, purpose, okay, that's purpose, and the last day is Kwanzaa, day 6, okay, Kumba, creativity, and I think the last day is Imani, faith, okay, I'm Hassan Rashid, you know it's always excellent being here with you, it's such a great achievement coming to the live, so until next time, keep your nose clean, play it straight, and don't forget to assist someone in need of their help, especially during this holiday season. A lot of homeless people out there, and they don't have much. So if you see them, please help them out. Until next time, I leave you as I came with the universal greeting, a cordial of peace. Peace be unto you.
I'm almost finished. Can you hang in there?